Hey guys, it's Michael from Mealy Marine, and sorry about last week that we didn't post any videos on David's 374V here. We had a winter storm that basically like shut down Houston, and we got a bunch of snow. We never get snow here, which was crazy. It was really cool. My kids had a good time. But it's time to get working on this thing. We're gonna be falling behind here if we don't get to. So I've gone ahead and I've done some work here off camera. But basically what we got going on is we need to fill this hole right here. This hole needs to be filled. And I got pieces of wood cut. So these three pieces right here are going to be where the hinges go for this locker, right? This wood was all decayed out, so we ripped it out, and it actually goes to like here. These two pieces right here are going to fill this area, and then these two pieces are going to fill like in here, because the two bigger pieces actually kind of like slide up under here. And yeah, that's what we had to do. I had to break them up into individual pieces so I could get them all to like fit in there. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle to get them in there. You know, having some fun epoxying. It took me a little bit to remember how to do all this and mixtures and stuff. And I opened a new thing of resin, but I did not open a new thing of hardener, and I think this kind of like screwed me yesterday. So this is going to go in the trash, unfortunately. And yeah, so today we're going to get that other side epoxied up, ready to go. The reason why we are epoxying it before we're putting it in there is so that we can try to protect the wood as much as possible. This is like some high quality piece of wood. Like this is, I don't believe this is pine. This is not pine, but all the rest of these are just pine. So that's going to work out really well. Then we're going to epoxy it in to this hole, let that dry, and then we're going to either like cut this round part out and put that glass back in there, or we're just going to lay new glass. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. That's what we're going to be doing. I'll show you. I just like, do you guys want to watch me epoxy? If you do, comment down below. I don't think you really want to. Like, I'm just putting some epoxy on wood and letting it dry. It's really not a thing. So yeah, we'll check back after I get that done. With this like weather that we're having, with it being cold and now it's like 60 degrees and raining and very, very humid, that's taking a long time to dry. I also think it took a long time to dry because the hardener was bad. I just need to open a new can. So that's what we're going to be doing. And then after we get done doing that, we really have to start working on building out this decking area. We're going to start by building cardboard pieces, and then using those cardboard pieces to cut the foam, and then getting the foam laid up in there and glassed in and ready to go, so we can start painting and sanding. And yeah, so we got all of our stuff. We got glass on glass on glass. Lots and lots and lots of glass here, ready to go, ready to get started. This was the piece we were originally going to use, and maybe we should have used it so we could irritate Grumpy, because this piece is warped very bad. And my dad says I like always go and buy the worst piece of wood at Home Depot. So yeah, Grumpy. Anyways, that's it. We'll check back in a little bit after I get that epoxy done. Hopefully we can get that like dried up today and at least like set in there. And then today's Sunday, I'm working here alone. By the time like we get here Monday, the guys can be able to like start working on that and cutting out cardboard and stuff. So yeah. All right, so we've got the wood in. It is epoxy down. So we got 3 pieces of wood right here. Basically a piece that comes like to here, and then a middle section piece, and another piece that goes to about there. And that'll be for us to attach the new hinge to, right, in this area. We got 2 nice pieces of wood here, epoxied on both sides, nice and sturdy. And then 2 pieces of plywood turned up on a side 3/4 inch thick to fill this gap. I'm probably just real quick gonna mix up some epoxy with some silica and I'm going to kind of put it down in these areas right here, all this kind of right in there on this edge, and then maybe a little bit down there, just so that we can fill in those gaps, try to avoid like any water getting stuck somewhere. So that's what I'll do real quick before this all dries up too much. And then what I need to do is I need to come in and I need to kind of feather this or taper it or chamfer it or whatever. I need to basically like kind of cut a angle in, so thinner here, thicker here, all the way around, so that when I lay the glass will kind of like work its way up with the layers that I lay, if that makes any sense. So that's the general plan right now. I'm going to fill it in with silica. I'm going to let this all dry, and then sometime today I will cut the pieces of glass. I think I'm going to maybe one thing of 1708, followed up with some I don't know what else that is, but some kind of thinner stuff, so that we can sand it, but also have the rigidity of that stuff. And it'll be interesting to see how many layers of glass I need to get that to be level. With that 1708, I know it's going to be pretty much almost flush. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. We'll make up some silica real quick. We'll take it from there. Okay, so we got the glass all dried up, ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to taper these edges, and then I'm going to need to add quite a bit more glass. So I think one more layer of 1708, and then maybe a layer of the thicker chop strand and a layer of the thinner chop strand, and I think that should be able to get me what I need in regards to being tapered out enough. So with the tapers coming in like this, we're gonna lay a piece. Let's say this edges, all these edges are tapered, we're gonna like lay a piece to here, which is gonna be the bottom piece, and then the middle piece, and then the top piece is gonna be layered out like that. That'll just give us good support if there's like delamination at any area. It'll still be holding on. If you think I'm doing it wrong, go watch Boat Works Today. He talks about this method a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get my PPE on, I'm gonna get to grinding and tapering this out, and then we're going to cut the glass, put some we're going to pre-soak them with the slow hardener, not the fast hardener, so I can have some time to work. We'll pre-soak them, we'll lay them up, and we'll definitely pre-soak this layer and then the next layer, and then we'll see if the if we need more glass or not. So yeah, let's go ahead, let's hop to it. Yeah, so what I found is when I was doing this, that as I was tapering it, the edges were chipping as it got close to the wood. So I went in and I filled it with some silica, just kind of filling in those cracked edges. I do need to continue kind of feathering it out more this way, but it's kind of giving me a general game plan of what I'm going to do. So actually, I'm going to cut one piece of 1708 that's a little bit bigger than this wood area, and then we'll set that down and we will see what needs to go next. So I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna wait for this to kind of dry a little bit. Okay, so we have multiple layers of glass here. I think 3 layers of glass total. We are pretty level over on this side and over here and over here, but as we go this way, it starts to dip. And right here is really bad. It's like a lot lower. And then kind of same thing. This side is really tapered in. And so here and here. So what my plan is I'm going to take some of this kind of thicker matte material and I'm going to fray it out, and I'm going to kind of like do a little build up on these edges, and then I'm going to come in on the top with this kind of like that. I'm going to kind of pull these frays out and get the final, like, build up the final thickness, and then we'll come in and sand it. Okay, so this is pretty much dried up. We kind of have like a high spot in the middle and on the edges, and it's kind of like, it's like proud in the middle. So we're gonna go through, we're gonna sand. Obviously, like, all this needs to be sanded all the way around and kind of feathered back, and then we will slowly work our way into the middle and see, and we'll see how flat it is. I think we're relatively good now. We can use fairing compound to make it completely flat, but I don't know if this is good enough. It's still a wee bit tacky out here on the edges. Yeah, it's still tacky. So what I think I'm going to tackle next today is I'm going to kind of chip away at this here, get this Bondo off, and kind of take a look and maybe put some epoxy down and put like 1 layer of glass right in there to kind of seal it up, and then we'll start building up the glass layer on it. So we got a spot there, we got a little spot here, and I believe that's really it on the exterior of the boat. Let's kind of do a walkthrough. Walk around, carpet job for another customer. Towards the end of the day, guys are getting ready to leave. We got this spot here, so we can kind of come in and feather this out. Maybe put like a couple layers of glass, just some thin stuff, kind of build it up a little bit, and then we'll use the fairing compound there. But yeah, overall I think that's really the big spot. So I'm gonna grab like a knife and like kind of like a pry bar and just kind of pry this and get most of the stuff off, and then I'll come in and sand it. So here we go. You can kind of see the gash and up in there. It's pretty deep right here. Kind of see it. So this is going to be pretty advanced for me, this angle here. So I think this needs to be kind of approached in 2 ways. First way is we need to, like, there's like 3 separate spots. We're gonna kind of sand this here and see, but there's like this area, there's this area, and then there's this area. So I'm gonna feather them separately. We're gonna try to like fill this in, this part right here, with some silica and feather this out. I would assume there's like a crack right there. So we're gonna get the grinder out, kind of poke at this a little bit, can't make it any worse, and just see what we can do. Like, that's going to be difficult up in there, so we'll play around with it and see what's going on. Okay, so we got some foam in here. This is literally just we're just filling in some of that space that was in there. That's what this is. So we're gonna let this dry for a little while, then we will trim all this extra fat off. We'll kind of grind up in there. Like I said, we're just filling that little space. This hole is not as deep, so I'm not as concerned about it. But what I'm going to do today before I leave is I'm going to just put a very thin layer of glass over this and put a bunch of epoxy in here. Kind of just seal this surface. And same here, I'm just going to put a little itty bitty piece right here to seal it. If this does dry before I leave today, I will put a piece here. But it doesn't look like it. This is really fun to play with. Woo! It's like I don't know, kind of fun. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to mix up a little bit of epoxy, and we will just put like I said, just put a little bit of glass right there. It won't hurt, and then we'll start building it up tomorrow on this. So yeah, guys, crazy hair Michael, don't use Bondo, okay? Don't use Bondo. There's stuff called fairing compound. It's meant for boats. Just use the boat stuff. Stop using car stuff on boats, okay? That's why it's called a car, and that's why these are called boats, because they're different things. They do different things. Anyways, all right, we're gonna get that done up, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Alrighty, so it's been another day and another night of drying. This is pretty much done. I don't know how many layers of glass are on there, but just need to go in, sand it all, and this is done. Well, not done. We have to fair it. We will do that probably in the next video. This is going to be the end of this video, but we're going to sand this today and fair it, and then that'll be the beginning of the next video. And then I got some glass over here all dried up. I do have like an air bubble right there, so we're going to have to fix this. But yeah, it came out pretty good. We got some high spots. We kind of fixed this area up, so we got all that. We also got the wood pieces cut to fill in the holes down there. I'm gonna get those epoxied and drying out today, so we can put those in later on today. And yeah, just little bits at a time, trying our best to get as far ahead on this as we can. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. If you guys are looking to get your boat restored, shoot us an email at customerservice@mealymarine.com, or go to mealymarineservices.com. If you're in the Houston area and you need your boat worked on, motor boat trailer, check us out as well, or go to mealymarine.com to get all your parts. And so yeah, we'll check back later. Bye.